Good evening. I'm pleased to welcome you tonight to the 9th Annual Rare Voice Awards. My name is Julia Jenkins, and I am the Executive Director of the EveryLife Foundation for Rare Diseases. Just over 8 months ago, COVID-19 brought the world to a halt. But the COVID pandemic has not stopped the advocacy efforts of the rare disease community. It has not even slowed us down. Our community has always had to do things differently, to pivot and reimagine, and this year has been no exception. That's what makes tonight's awards so special. Our nominees have gone above and beyond to continue their advocacy efforts in spite of a pandemic. Thank you to all of our nominees and to all patients and advocates for fighting for legislation and policy that advances diagnostic and treatment opportunities for rare disease patients. You are our heroes. I'd also like to thank tonight's top sponsors: Sanofi, Horizon, BioMarin, Pfizer, Mallinckrodt, Recordati, and Greenwich Biosciences. We are so grateful for the financial support of all of our partners who help ensure patients have a voice in public policy. The funds raised tonight will support the advocacy efforts of the rare disease community through our programs such as Rare Across America, Rare Giving, and the Young Adult Representatives of RDLA. During this COVID crisis, we felt it was especially important to increase our support of the advocacy efforts of our fellow patient organizations and individual patient advocates. We are pleased to share that in 2020, we will be providing $500,000, double what we gave in 2019, in grants, travel stipends, and educational scholarships to rare disease patients and patient organizations through our Rare Giving and Rare Is Educational Scholarship Program. I would also like to thank the EveryLife team who helped make this award show possible and for their work every day to empower the patient voice to advance policy that saves lives. Actually, our team is here tonight and wanted to say something to tonight's nominees. Yay! Congratulations! Woo! Congratulations and good luck to all of tonight's Rare Voice nominees. Okay, let's meet our MCs for tonight.
I'm Ryan Colburn from Los Angeles, California, and 5 years ago, at the age of 31, I was diagnosed with Pompe disease. The future is super exciting to me. There's so much opportunity here with advances in technology and diagnosis rates. We should not restrict ourselves to doing something just because that's how it was done last time. In fact, that's the surest way to halt progress. Each of us has a role to play in writing the next chapter of our rare disease story. This shift in our culture, eliminating subjects and embracing collaborators, will serve us well. In doing so, we can rewrite the story of our disease and develop a new understanding that feeds back into helping those of us already living with it. Thank you.
My name is Alyssa Taylor, and I am honored to serve our beautiful Commonwealth as your 2019 Ms. Virginia Cosmos, United States. Being diagnosed at the age of 10 months with juvenile diabetes, my platform is so much more than just that. It's my life, and I live it every single second of every day. In 2007, when my younger sister Janaea was also diagnosed with juvenile diabetes, I was catapulted into participating in pageantry to give a bigger stage for my platform. 14 years ago, sitting in the audience observing my first pageant, I watched and immediately knew what I wanted to be. A lighthouse to my community, a representative of so many who were told that they can't and could never be, a voice for the voiceless. Pour your heart and soul into everything that you do, and I assure you that you will receive every ounce of love and support tenfold. Always be who you are and fight for what you believe in.
And now, live from the studio, we are proud to present your MCs for tonight's virtual ceremony.
Good evening. I'm Alyssa Taylor.
And I'm Ryan Colburn.
We're coming to you live from the studio just outside of Washington, D.C. I'd like to start by saying that I am honored to co-MC the Rare Voice Awards with you, Ryan. When I joined the Every Life Foundation team 4 months ago, I never imagined that I would be dressed up in flapper fashion in front of a national audience to celebrate rare disease advocates. But since it's 2020, we're celebrating like the roaring 20s.
That's right, and I'm honored to co-MC with you too, Alyssa. I'm used to being in the audience for Every Life events, not playing host, so this is a new and exciting experience for me. I'm thrilled to celebrate such amazing Rare Voice nominees, and I invite all of you joining us from home to share your support for tonight's nominees on social media using the hashtag RareVoiceAwards 2020.
And we hope you stay with us until the end of the 1-hour show, when one lucky viewer will be picked at random to receive this cozy winter prize package. Look at all of this awesome stuff: cozy socks, a blanket, a zebra mask, organic coffee, an electric coffee cup, cookies, and more. Thank you to Horizon Therapeutics, BioMarin, Pfizer, and Mallinckrodt for making this prize package possible.
And if you want a chance to win this bunch of goodies, stay tuned until 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Before we get to the giveaway, we have a lot of advocates to celebrate. Advocates who are nominated by you, the rare disease community. These advocates were nominated for their outstanding efforts to give rare disease patients a voice on Capitol Hill and in state government.
Each of tonight's awardees will receive one of these, the Abby Award. Well, maybe not quite this big.
Let's take a look at one of the actual statues. It's a unique piece of art created just for Rare Voice awardees. The Abby Award was designed by a California artist to capture the hope and power of a parent speaking out to save their child. Ryan, do you know who the Abby Award was named after?
No, do I get a lifeline? I'd like to ask the audience. For our audience at home, click on the link next to the player or pull up your mobile device and go to pollev.com/rarevoice. Again, that's pollev.com/rarevoice, and give us your answer to the following question. Who was the Abby Award named after? Was it A, Abigail Adams, B, Abigail Bartlett, C, Abby Myers, or D, Abbey Road?
Okay, folks, you have 30 seconds to pick your answer.
I need your help, so please go to pollev.com/rarevoice and give your answer. And keep this link open, as I may ask for your help later again in the program. We have about 15 seconds left to make our selection.
Well, Ryan, do you want to guess?
No, this is a tough one. Let's see what our viewers are saying. We've got about 20% saying that are history buffs and saying Abigail Adams. We've got 40% saying Abigail Bartlett. They must be West Wing fans. And no Beatle fans hoping for Abbey Road. But I think I'm stumped. Who is it?
Ryan, grab your popcorn and let's watch this brief video to find out.
And the correct answer is Abby Myers, founder of Nord. I knew it all along. Now, which one of our amazing nominees will receive an Abby? Our community has many incredible advocates, and tonight's ceremony recognizes a group of elite individuals nominated by our community.
Tonight, we're celebrating 24 finalists ranging in age from 15 to 78. hailing from 9 different states and representing more than 11 rare diseases. They are parents, siblings, patients, and organizations who have used their voice to make a difference.
While everyone nominated was certainly worthy of winning the award, the judges made their decision based on nominees' leadership, risk-taking, collaboration, overall success, and impact. Okay, Alyssa, should we start giving away some hardware?
Absolutely. Let's start tonight by recognizing the Outstanding Congressional Staff Abby Award finalists. Congressional staffers are among the best champions for rare disease patients. They work tirelessly behind the scenes with little credit and play a vital role in the legislative process. Let's meet this year's Congressional Staff finalists.
When I started in Charlie's office, I had a good friend ask me if I was going to be working on healthcare, since he was one of the most engaged members on the topic. And I responded, I wouldn't be caught dead doing healthcare. Within a year and a half of starting in his office, I was leading his health team. One of my favorite parts of my job is going to groups, whether they be patient groups or disease-specific organizations, providers, participating in Rare Disease Week, and talking about how Congress works and how to present your message, and knowing that at the end of the day, we don't want Americans to suffer. We want to cure disease.
I worked, in an office, I was working, for Senator Schumer, so we were getting, a huge volume of these meetings, and, I was, for 7 or 8 months, you're meeting with people who are pleading with you to do the best you can do and say something that has changed their life. Advancing access to precision medicine is a very big on my boss's heart, big on my heart. What makes healthcare interesting is I think for a lot of people, not until you're affected, you care. But you should care regardless, because in the long run, it affects every single one of us.
My name is Crozer Connor. I'm a senior legislative assistant for Congressman Mike Thompson. It is explicitly our job every day to make life better for the roughly 800,000 people we represent. And I think the work we've done on rare disease research is a good example of that, because it totally emanates from our district. There's absolutely no doubt in our mind that investing in medical research is one of the best investments our government can make, and we're going to continue to do that.
My current job, I'm a senior policy advisor for Congressman G.K. Butterfield from North Carolina. I've spent most of my career advocating for rare disease patients. My passion was honed during my time in government affairs at the American Academy of Pediatrics and the Children's Hospital Association, where I heard from countless families about the years it took to get their child a diagnosis. It shouldn't be this way. It doesn't need to be this way, and rare disease patients deserve a better way. I'm dedicated to finding that better way and changing the system to ensure that it works for everyone, especially people with rare disease.
There is no denying that when you start to dig deeper into any conversation on availability of treatment, that small populations will not be the first and foremost of people's minds, and we need to make sure that they are. I'm personally driven by the idea that there are very few champions of the rare disease community, in the sense that they are there to really understand what those families are going through. Personally, being able to spread the message of what the rare disease community is actually trying to achieve, that's been very rewarding for me.
Okay, Alyssa, would you like to do the honors?
Sure, Ryan. I'm sure our judges had a tough decision to make, but the Congressional Staff Abby Award goes to... Wait, we have a tie. Stuart Portman from the Senate Committee on Finance and Caitlin Van Sant from the Office of Representative G.K. Butterfield. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for this incredible honor. My boss, Congressman G.K. Butterfield of the 1st District of North Carolina, is the co-chair of the Congressional Rare Disease Caucus, and I feel so privileged to be able to come into work every day and work on policies that impact the rare disease community, from legislation to incentivize the development of targeted therapies for rare pediatric diseases, to advocating for additional research dollars, and working to ensure that patients have access and can afford the treatments and therapies they need. None of this work would be possible without the dedication of rare disease advocates, and for that I am truly appreciative of this community. You make my job so much easier. This award is a true honor, and I'm so grateful to be recognized in this way. I look forward to continuing this important work with you all in the new Congress next year, hopefully in person.
Thank you, everyone. This is a huge honor. I will say that people don't get involved in the rare disease community for recognition. You do it because you care. And having worked for Senator Hatch and now for Senator Grassley, two members that care a lot about individuals with rare diseases, particularly kids with rare diseases, it's really an honor to be recognized and receive this award. I think that I have spent my entire career on Capitol Hill focused on taking care of those with rare diseases and trying to address access to both treatments and to care, and it's something that I feel very strongly about, and it's a pleasure to do it because all of you are such amazing advocates. You've shared your stories, your livelihoods, your hopes, your dreams, your troubles. You've shared so much of yourself with me, and it means the world that you would choose to recognize me for acting on that to make life a little bit better for you. So thank you all again. This is really a huge honor, and I am so humbled to accept this award.
Congratulations, Stuart and Caitlin. Now let's go to our next category, federal advocacy by an individual or organization. I can tell you from experience that traveling to Washington, D.C. and going to the Hill can be intimidating, but these advocates did it. Some overcoming incredible personal challenges, while others were on a mission on behalf of their loved ones.
Two of the nominees for this award are patient organizations who organized thousands of advocates to take action. Let's meet these champions, the finalists for federal advocacy, patient advocate, or organization.
Lauren began in 1998 when a mother found that there were no treatments or research to help her child who was born with a rare lymphatic disease. Since then, Lauren has inaugurated a host of programs and advocacy efforts to address the needs for new treatments and cures for all lymphatic diseases. As a result, the fiscal year 2021 House Appropriations Bill specifically calls for the establishing of a National Lymphatic Commission to study the need for lymphatic research throughout the National Institutes of Health. There are a host of rare lymphatic diseases. Each is devastating for both the child and the family. This is why we fight for lymphatic disease treatment and research.
My first son, Cannon, was diagnosed with ectodermal dysplasia. Cannon is such an amazing little boy. He is the reason why I got involved with the Ensuring Lasting Smiles Act that would ensure that all Americans who are born with congenital anomalies or birth defects would be able to receive medically necessary treatments. We've been able to garner the support of 310 House co-sponsors and 42 senators. It's a true testament to how powerful our stories can be.
I'm a 44-year-old woman with Bloom syndrome. I'm the 72nd case ever diagnosed. Being able to go into the disability rights field allowed me to advance the needs of those of us with Bloom syndrome alongside the needs of others with disabilities. And the blending of that really gave us allies, and it gave us more power than just the few of us could do alone. Those around you may not understand, but just know that you are the expert in yourself. If there's something that you want to say that you haven't been able to do so yet, reach out, because there are those who can help you to do that. Know yourself, listen to your voice, use that power.
Imagine living with a treatable disease, but you cannot get the care you need. For millions of men, women, and children suffering from lymphedema, this is their daily reality.
No one would help me for 20 years. And when I found out that there was a bill, and that there's a chance for all the people that have suffered, I'm right there and willing to support it any way I can.
The power of the people, the voice of the people really makes a difference.
There are so many people, including myself, that cannot afford to pay for these garments.
Without the Lymphedema Act, the people who would need these garments can't afford to get them.
There is a clear path to at least help. We know this bill is the right thing to do. We know it's the right solution. Medicare should reimburse for compression garments for people who have lymphedema. We're going to work to get everybody, 100% of our delegation signed up. We're going to continue to get other supporters. I know we're going to get it done.
You have a strength that you can tap when it matters. And when you have kids with challenges, that's when it matters. And I tell our kids, it's not a negative thing that you have PKU. I understand that, there are days when you hate it and you don't like it. We have an opportunity to help other people, and that's a great thing. As a mom, all you want to do is take away that burden for your kids. And for me, this is the way I can do that, is to be involved and to work with these nonprofits so that we can change the landscape for PKU and change the future for the kids.
Wow, all of these nominees are incredibly inspiring and are truly making an impact. It was a tough decision, but the Abbey for Federal Advocacy Patient Advocate or organization goes to Kevin Kozer.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be recognized for this award by the RDLA and Every Life Foundation. I want to recognize my family. You've given me the time and opportunity to chase something that I truly believe in. So to my beautiful wife, Rachel, our two amazing, kind, and resilient boys, Cannon and Cage, my mother-in-law, Robin, I love you all so much, I can't say it enough. And to my late mother, who gave me the strength, courage, and perseverance to always fight for what I believe in. Thank you to the NFED, Mary, our advocacy committee, especially Becky, Aiden, and the Abbotts. Thank you for leading this grassroots movement to make the Ensuring Lasting Smiles Act a reality. And thank you to ELSA's champions in Congress, Senators Baldwin and Ernst, and Congressman Peterson and Riggleman, all of your staff, Aaron, Anna, Rebecca, Nicole, Eli, and many others. Congressman Peterson and Riggleman, we're really going to miss you on the Hill next year. Thank you for your unwavering support for ELSA. Thank you for representing our families with such empathy and compassion. And lastly, to every American affected by a congenital anomaly, especially my boy Cannon, you have inspired me to fight for what is right. We can do this together. We will do this. So stay positive. Let's keep the momentum rolling. I love you all. Thank you.
Congratulations, Kevin. Alyssa, I tell you, meeting the nominees for federal advocacy has really got me excited about next year's Rare Disease Week on Capitol Hill. The week-long event in Washington, D.C. is about making our voices heard by our representatives in Congress. But what I love most about the week is getting to meet other people. I remember my first Rare Disease Week, and there were nearly 1,000 advocates there. I met people from all around the country, and even some who live near me in Los Angeles. They were representing different diseases, but were family just the same. I got to learn from them and share my perspective as well. It was a really great experience.
That's why in 2021, Rare Disease Week has been moved to July 19th through July 22nd. Our hope is that by July, you will be able to travel and safely join us in Washington, D.C. But first, advocates can make their voices heard virtually through Rare Across America from February 22nd through March 5th, 2021. Like Rare Disease Week on Capitol Hill, Rare Across America is an opportunity for you to learn how to advocate and then put those skills to use during meetings with your members of Congress.
Rare Across America meetings will be especially important this year, as there are many new members of Congress that need to learn about the issues that matter most to the rare disease community. The great thing about both Rare Across America and Rare Disease Week is that your meetings are scheduled for you, and you receive training on how to share your story with your members of Congress. Alyssa, I'm so excited. Let's take a minute to share some of the sights and sound from this year's Rare Disease Week on Capitol Hill.
Are there any more amazing moments in life than having the opportunity with friends who are on the same journey?
Advocates coming from all over the country then share their stories with members of Congress.
We can build tomorrow on the strength and the courage of our own gifts. The gift of your voice, the rare voice. The rare disease community is strong. Your voice can and will change tomorrow. We're on the way.
We need a cure, we need treatments, and we all are having problems with affordability of the treatments.
People in government, and especially people who work on congressional staff, are really listening.
Are hearing our voices and taking action.
It's really motivated me to keep going.
We're advocating for more FDA funding and more NIH funding.
More funding towards development of orphan drug products, of new studies to evaluate natural history of diseases.
I know that research is going to help all of us.
Just because you have something that's rare doesn't mean you shouldn't have compassion and help.
There's such a family and such a community here that you'll never feel anywhere else.
There have been times when my condition doesn't matter as much. It's the other person's story.
How can I show you love? How can I show you support? And that makes the world of difference.
This week changes next week, and I know this to be true. I've seen it, and we're all experiencing it. Thank you to every single person who came, because you spoke for all 30 million Americans and those around the globe who can't make it. You're rare, you have courage, you are strong.
Every voice.
Every voice.
Every voice.
Every voice.
Every voice. Every voice.
Every voice. Every voice.
Every voice.
Every voice matters.
Alyssa, before we go on to the next category, I'd love to hear from the audience what they're most excited about for Rare Across America. It's just over 2 months away.
Let's do it. Everyone at home, click on the link to the right of the player or pull out your mobile device and go to pollev.com/rarevoice and select your answer to the following question. What are you most excited about for Rare Across America? A, meeting with my members of Congress. B, connecting with other rare disease advocates. C, learning how to be a more effective rare disease advocate. Or D, the Rare Disease Caucus briefing.
I see the answers are coming in. And it looks like we've got a lot of people, about a third of our people, that are excited to meet their representatives in Congress and have that conversation. We've got a group of people that are excited to meet with other rare disease advocates and learn about their diseases and share their story. But really the most popular one is learning how to become a more effective rare disease advocate and sharpen those skills.
No matter what you are most excited about, we hope you are able to join us for Rare Across America from February 22nd through March 5th and Rare Disease Week on Capitol Hill from July 19th through July 22nd.
While advocacy on the federal level is essential, change often starts on the state and local level. Let's meet the Abby Award finalists for state advocacy by a state legislator.
I want to tell you that I'm really proud that I've been able to represent you in the Virginia House of Delegates. We did pass Medicaid expansion and gave nearly 400,000 more Virginians health care coverage. I did start the Rare Disease Caucus because so many people with children with rare diseases are unable to get medical coverage or insurance coverage for their children. I've been endorsed by the Chamber of Commerce, the realtors, the teachers, the firefighters, and our business community. I'm dedicated to this district. I've been accessible, I've been responsive, and I have worked with you and 40th.
I'm North Carolina State Representative Wayne Sasser. All I did was introduce a bill for a drug called Fodilex, which is a medication, prescription medication, which helps mostly children with severe seizures. I've been blessed with, have a great team of people that work with me and keep me going down the straight and narrow. Adult medications that we normally treat cancer with don't necessarily work on childhood cancer. And we think most of these diseases are rare, but you get to adding up all the children that have to deal with cancer every day, every month, every year. It's enormous. And we need to concentrate on saving those kids' lives.
Every newborn that's born in the hospital across Georgia is very quickly, within 24 hours, screened for a number of metabolic disorders that, if are not diagnosed, can cause lifelong disabilities to the child or even death. These are disorders that are rare, but we have finally developed ways to either cure them or lessen the destruction they do to these children's bodies. This is a critical need. Medical science is moving us forward at a very, very rapid pace, and we certainly want to alleviate any newborn's child of being permanently disabled or even die when at all possible.
My name is John Eccles. I serve in the Oklahoma House of Representatives. It's been one of my greatest honors being in the Oklahoma legislature these last 8 years to work on rare disease issues that are important to Oklahomans. I became aware of an issue dealing with CBD oil with low THC and the help it could give children with severe epilepsy and other syndromes such as Dravet. I became aware of it because of my niece Katie. Well, with the help of advocates, I helped co-found the Bipartisan Waiting List Caucus. It advocates for Oklahomans with disabilities who are on the waiting list and trying to come up with a way to solve that problem for the state of Oklahoma. One of the great things I've got to do is be the voice of those with rare diseases that sometimes feel overlooked. It's an honor to be up and considered for this award, and I thank you very much.
Wow. All of these champions are really delivering for the rare disease community. I'm sure this was a tough decision. The Abbey for State Advocacy by a state legislator goes to Delegate Kathleen Murphy from my home state, Virginia.
Thank you so much. I'm incredibly honored to be a 2020 recipient of the Rare Voice Award. I'm here because the love of a grandfather, Richard Michaud. Richard's granddaughter, Tia Reynolds, has PKU. It's an inherited metabolic disorder. You may have seen that Tia's mother, Allison Reynolds, pulled a sled across Norway to raise funds for PKU research. When I was first elected to the House of Delegates, Richard told me about PKU and the need for insurance coverage for the formula that is critical for people to live a normal and healthy life. It was one of my first bills, and it took me nearly 5 years to get it passed. I had to fight. Along the way, I have met so many parents of children with critical needs that I started the Rare Disease Caucus to ensure that they had a voice and could help guide us towards solutions. We have a daughter with cystic fibrosis, so I understand the struggles for a family to meet the challenges of a child with special needs. This year, I passed HB 840 to ensure that life-saving formulas and enteral nutrition products are considered medicine and are covered by insurance. As a delegate, I have had only one goal: to do something meaningful, that improves the life of others. And I believe that's what we achieved with this bill. I am honored by this award and grateful to all of you. You are my heroes.
Congratulations, Delegate Murphy. Now let's meet the advocates who've pushed for action on the state level, working with state representatives across the country to change policy.
Public policy, when it comes to disability issues, is often diagnosis-driven, access for some, but not access for all. How to change that? Go away from diagnosis to functional need. Last session, we worked on an expansion of medical cannabis here in Texas. It had been stuck only for people with intractable epilepsy. We changed that to neuromuscular diseases, and we were able to add over 40 rare disease conditions that now have access to medical cannabis in Texas. That's the difference between access for some and access for all.
My children, Stephen and Caroline, are my inspiration and driving force in all that I do as an advocate for rare diseases. Both were born with a rare inborn error of metabolism called isovaleric acidemia, which is detectable at birth through newborn screening. Most recently, we have been able to take part and influence legislation that now mandates insurance coverage for medical formula and foods, which are a critical part of the treatment for these rare conditions. It's exciting to know that the promise I made to Stephen has been fulfilled, and that people know him and his experience. I'm grateful and happy that I am in a position to continue advocating for rare diseases, to ensure that all living with rare diseases can have a better quality of life and access to their needs in living with their conditions.
I'm Tanya Prince, co-founder, president, and CEO of the Sickle Cell Association of Houston. The honor is indeed in serving members of the rare disease community. It is their strength that safeguards me, their resiliency that I carry with the highest regard, and their optimism and indescribable courage that I found the bravery to give every ounce of myself on behalf of the families, the caretakers, and support systems in hopes of making their tomorrow a bit easier, brighter, and better. It was with tears, tenacity, and a don't you mess with Texans attitude that the Sickle Cell Association of Houston garnered the support of Texas Representative Jarvis Johnson and Senator Boris Miles that led to historic and landmark legislative wins for the sickle cell disease community. Don't thank me, because I thank you, and I love you all. I can't stress enough the importance of state advocacy. State-based advocacy can change lives, and it's our jobs to educate and advocate on behalf of the rare disease community. What we like to say at RDLA is be an activator. You can be an advocate and an educator and become an activator. Educate those that don't know and advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves. Every day is Rare Disease Day. Thank you.
Again, all of these advocates are truly inspiring and are really making a difference for rare disease community. I don't envy the job of the judges on this one. The Abby for State Advocacy Patient Advocate goes to Jana Monaco. Congratulations, Jana.
I am honored to accept the 2020 Rare Voice Award along with the many distinguished recipients tonight dedicated to rare diseases. I committed to advocating for newborn screening when my son Stephen's rare disease, isovaleric acidemia, was missed, altering his life forever. He and my daughter Caroline, with the same rare disease, motivate me to be not only their voice, but the voice for others with rare diseases who do not have the ability to do so. As a patient advocate, My goal has always been to improve the quality of life for those with rare diseases by doing my part to raise awareness and ensure they have access to early diagnosis, care, treatment, and support. I dedicate this award to Stephen, who inspires me every day to be a voice for this rare population who so desperately need it. Thank you to the RDLA and the Every Life Foundation for Rare Diseases for selecting me for this profound honor.
Congratulations, Jana. Alyssa, what's remarkable to me is that none of us who have become rare disease advocates necessarily plan to do so. We were inspired by our experiences. It's important for patients to make our voices heard, but it's also important for us to strive to make our dreams come true. Living with rare disease can mean managing a lot of day-to-day challenges that can get in the way of us pursuing an education and career. That's why I was glad to hear about the Every Life Foundation's new scholarship program, Rare Is Scholarship Fund.
Thanks to the support of Horizon, the Rare Is Scholarship Fund offers $5,000 scholarships to rare disease patients over the age of 17 who are residents of the United States. Let's take a look at this video to learn more about it.
Through the rare disease community, we had learned that there are challenges that many people face when it comes to accessing the dreams that they have for themselves. Accessing education is one of those challenges.
The basics behind the Rare Is Scholarship Fund are providing scholarships for people living with rare disease that want to pursue anything.
I'm a current graduate student at the Morehouse School of Medicine, getting my master's in public health. I was born with 2 rare diseases. One is called Golden Horner syndrome, and the other one is called Vader syndrome.
I've been going to a local community college so I can transfer into a state school. I have a neurological disorder that has affected me for most of my life. I was really excited when I got the email that morning. I went and showed it to my mom, and it was honestly a really great moment. I'm blown away by how much money that is. That's almost a whole year of classes for me.
I happened to check my emails like, oh, you've been given a scholarship, which I feel like that is the best thing to wake up to. This definitely is helping towards, my tuition and all the expenses of being able to live on campus and be fully focused on school. You can pursue other opportunities because you have that financial support that maybe wasn't always there.
This was a huge opportunity that really we haven't seen before.
We hope that many of you watching tonight apply for the Rare Is Scholarship Fund next year. Now, to our next Abby Award category, Teen Advocacy. Some of the most impactful voices come from our young advocates. That is why the Rare Disease Legislative Advocates, or RDLA, is working to cultivate the energy and enthusiasm of young advocates through its YAR program, Young Adult Representatives of RDLA. The determination and resiliency of young advocates is inspiring, especially our Teen Advocacy Abby Award finalists. Let's meet the young adults who are leaving their mark on the federal and state levels.
A few years ago, we started working at a free health clinic for patients largely without health insurance. Since then, we've been really interested in health and policy. From there, we got involved with RDLA.
Because of family experience with liver-related diseases, we are deeply passionate about advocating for diseases such as hepatitis B. Because of that, we are actively involved with Join Jade, a global campaign for hepatitis.
We proposed hepatitis screening and linkage to care in California for healthcare providers to offer testing and follow-up care if essential to adults at increased risk of hepatitis in California.
We believe that using our voices is a step forward,
and we encourage the youth to come forward and join us.
My name is Caroline. I'm 18 years old, and I'm the lead youth ambassador for the National Advocacy Program for Narcolepsy Network. I was diagnosed with type 1 narcolepsy, which is narcolepsy with cataplexy, when I was 14 years old.
I have the lifespan, the voice, the physical and mental capability to be an advocate and fight for myself and others. The ones that I speak about the most often are the Newborns Screening Saves Lives Reauthorization Act and the Creating Hope Reauthorization Act. And I need to do that. I need to fight until everyone has the treatment and the cure that they deserve and they need.
My name is Grant Bonebreak, and I'm a member of YAR. I started advocating for legislation and research funds at age 14, about 2 years after my diagnosis. I was inspired to advocate after I went to my first ever Alport syndrome family meeting. At that meeting, I met people with my rare disease for the first time, along with leading researchers. What really resonated with me at that meeting was that we were the first patients those researchers had ever met. So after that meeting, I started advocating and raising money as much as I could to spread awareness and pass bills in the House of Representatives. We have now 94 co-sponsors for the Living Donor Protection Act, a bill that I've helped build momentum for since 2017. This is important to me because it provides insurance and employment protections for people like my brother who are willing to donate their organs to save others. I've learned that policymaking is definitely best shaped by those who it affects. It means much more that way.
Hi, my name is Zachary Berger, and what inspired me to be an advocate for lymphatic malformation is that I suffer from the disease, and through my partnership with the Lymphatic Education Research Network as being the Texas Youth Ambassador, I've been able to be a voice and spread awareness for the disease by raising money for research and talking it to government officials. Thank you.
Advocating for me isn't just making a change for myself or for even my state, it's making a change for the entire country and for every single person living with a chronic illness or disease and being the voice for them. I've met many people along my journey and their stories are amazing, and it's what gives me the fuel to keep going and keep changing things to help every single one of us.
Amazing. These young adults are an inspiration to us all. The future truly is now when it comes to rare disease advocacy. Okay, the Abby Award for Teen Advocacy goes to Grant Bonebreak.
Wow, okay. All right, well, thank you so much. I just want to start by saying how honored I am to receive this award. It was a surprise, nonetheless, to even be nominated in the beginning, but to actually win, I'm truly honored. I never really expected to be noticed or even rewarded for the work that I've done. That's not why I advocate. I advocate because everyone deserves to have their voice heard. And for those who aren't being heard, I want to be their voice. I started in 8th grade at the age of 14 after being diagnosed with Alport syndrome at the age of 12. I spent almost 2 years without ever meeting someone with my disease. And in those 2 years, I've never felt more lost, scared, or even confused. I never wanted anyone else to have to wait for that long to find others who understood them. That's why I started advocating. So after being nominated for this award, it was really all the clarity I needed to confirm that I'm on the right path and that this is something I can continue to do in the future, especially when I go to college next year. I want to thank my parents who are right here behind me, who, without them, this never would have been possible. They've supported me this entire way, and without them, I'd still be that lost and confused kid, so really want to thank them so much. I also want to congratulate the other finalists. It was an honor to be nominated with all of you. Your work hasn't gone unnoticed, but I'm really honored to be here with you guys. I also really want to thank Every Life Foundation for this award, for the important work they do, to encourage other young rare disease patients to get involved with YAR. It's a fantastic program, so thank you very much.
Congratulations, Grant. What I love about advocacy is that anyone can do it. To start, all you have to do is share your own story. But we don't all share our stories in the same way. Some talented advocates share their stories through artwork.
Ryan, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. That's why each year the Every Life Foundation hosts the Rare Artist Contest. The contest is open to anyone impacted by rare disease. Hundreds of artists enter each year. Do you know what the lucky awardees receive?
I'm going to need to ask the audience again for help on this one, Alyssa. Okay, folks, click on the polling link to the right of your player or pull out your mobile device and go to pollev.com/rarevoice. And let us know, what do Rare Artists Contest awardees receive? Is it A, an opportunity to showcase their work on Capitol Hill during Rare Disease Week? Is it B, personalized coaching on how to share their rare disease story through art to members of Congress? Is it C, a cash prize and a travel stipend to Rare Disease Week on Capitol Hill? Or D, all of the above?
Ryan, I may be biased, but I think the Rare Artist Contest is so special and unique. While our viewers are answering the poll question, I'll share a quick story. My dad was diagnosed with a rare disease called pulmonary arterial hypertension and received a heart transplant in 2012. After this ordeal, he turned to art to help cope with his illness and recovery. He has made some pretty cool artwork out of recycled metal and materials. He was even asked by his hometown, the city of Durham in North Carolina, to make some pieces to celebrate the Durham Bulls.
That's awesome. You should have him enter the contest next year.
Yes, Dad, I know you're watching. That's your cue. Okay, let's see how our audience answered. All right, we have a lot of folks who are actually saying an opportunity to showcase their work on Capitol Hill, a few folks who are saying personalized coaching on how to tell their story through art, and we have a few folks who have said all of the above. And the answer is D, all of the above. Let's watch this brief video to find out more about the Rare Artist Contest.
If you want to try painting or photography, whatever it is, just give it a shot. If you're giving it a try and you're enjoying your time, I think you might as well give it a shot.
We all have talent inside of us. You just have to be willing to take that first step and try it.
It's not even just the art. It's not even just sharing your talent and putting it out there. It's meeting people just like you.
We may hold a brush, a pen, or a computer mouse in an uncommon way. We just do common things in an uncommon way.
So whether it's a rare disease or another issue that you have, look for the light.
I hope my little ripple makes a big wave tonight. I'm just honored to be a part of tonight.
Every voice matters.
Every voice matters.
Every voice matters.
One of this year's Rare Artist Contest awardees inspired us to create a new Abby Award called Artist to Advocate. Her name is Donna Christosic. Donna's son Levi has Jansen's metaphyseal chondrodysplasia. Years ago, Donna and Levi traveled from Mississippi to Washington, D.C., so Levi could participate in medical research testing at the National Institutes of Health. Levi was the first person with Jansen's ever to be admitted to NIH for medical research. The testing took nearly a week. Levi knew the research may never help him personally, but he hoped that his participation would help patients in the future. When Donna and Levi finished at NIH, they took a walk by the Lincoln Memorial to take in all that they had experienced during that week. As Levi stood at the edge of the reflecting pool with outstretched arms, Donna snapped this picture. She says it embodies Levi's embrace of his reality and his motto of go live life. Donna carries photos like this one with her and shares them with lawmakers to help put a face to rare disease and to transform them into rare disease champions. Let's meet our inaugural Artist to Advocate Abby Award recipient, Donna Christosic.
to the Rare Voice Committee for selecting me as tonight's awardee. I grew up with a mother who would constantly tell me, use your words to tell your story, and a father who would say, take a picture, it's worth 1,000 words. On February the 16th, 2006, an ultra rare gem came into my world, my son Levi. Because of Levi, I'm an advocate and paint our story with my words. During the moments I never want to forget, I stop, take a picture, and post it to social media, because we all know those powerful pictures are worth way more than 1,000 words. I have attended Rare Disease Week on Capitol Hill 5 times. Each year I show up with my story, with pictures, and with an unstoppable spirit. I would like to thank my parents who reside above the clouds. Their gift of teaching me to use my voice I will have forever. Thank you to my husband Joseph, my daughters Megan and Maris, my friend Nina Nazar, who is changing the pathway for my son's condition, and most of all to my son Levi here. He makes my world wonderful, but not the regular kind of wonderful. The big bubble letter, bright neon colors, with blinking lights and a gigantic side of unstoppable spirit wonderful. He lives by the motto, go live life. I'm just along for the ride. Thank you so much for this wonderful honor tonight.
Wow, that was truly inspiring. Alyssa, there are 2 more individuals tonight that deserve special recognition. The first is Senator Tammy Baldwin, representing Wisconsin. Since Senator Baldwin was elected to Congress in 1998, she has fought to advance access to quality health care. But when she met her young constituent, Aiden Abbott, during Rare Disease Week on Capitol Hill, she took action that could change the lives of rare disease families across the country. Senator Baldwin drafted a bill called the Ensuring Lasting Smiles Act. If passed, the act would require all private insurance groups and individual health care plans to cover medically necessary services resulting from congenital abnormalities. Senator Baldwin has worked tirelessly to garner support for the bill, securing 42 co-sponsors in the Senate. That's why tonight we are proud to honor Senator Baldwin with the Congressional Leadership Abbey Award.
Good evening. I'm Senator Tammy Baldwin, and I'm so honored to receive the Rare Voice Congressional Leadership Award. Thank you to the Every Life Foundation for this incredible recognition. I started working on the Ensuring Lasting Smiles Act after hearing the story of Aiden Abbott from Slinger, Wisconsin. As you all may know, Aiden was born with a rare congenital disease that requires intense dental and oral care, as well as reconstructive surgeries throughout his life. Despite having health insurance, the Abbotts have been denied coverage for Aiden's serious dental care needs, and they're forced to pay thousands of dollars out of pocket for his treatments. My bipartisan Ensuring Lasting Smiles Act would close that coverage gap and require health plans to cover all medically necessary services related to a patient's anomaly or birth defect. Aiden's story continues to inspire my work on this issue. We must guarantee that individuals born with congenital anomalies or birth defects have access to the health treatments they need and that they deserve. This is where you come in. Your advocacy is still needed, now more than ever, to help advance the Ensuring Lasting Smiles Act through Congress and eventually help it become law. While we've seen some progress in the House of Representatives, our work is not done. As we move toward the new year and a new Congress, we are going to make it clear that passing the Ensuring Lasting Smiles Act is a top priority for you, just as it is for me. Please continue calling your members of Congress to tell them why you support ensuring access to treatment for all those with congenital anomalies and birth defects, and why the Ensuring Lasting Smiles Act is so important to families and children around the country. I encourage you to share your stories and make your voices heard online and in your communities on why this is so important. I want to thank everyone who's gathered here tonight for all you're doing to get this bill over the finish line. And again, thank you for this recognition and for staying in this fight with me. Keep up the great work and have a great night.
Thank you for being our champion, Senator Baldwin. Next, we'll recognize Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Butler, representing the 3rd Congressional District of Washington State. Being a champion for the rare disease community is personal for Representative Butler, as her oldest daughter, Abigail, was born with a rare disorder. For the past 10 years, Representative Butler has been an active member of the Rare Disease Caucus. She has led legislation that is vital to the rare disease community, including the Newborn Screening Saves Lives Reauthorization Act. The act passed the House of Representatives in 2019 and is currently awaiting action in the Senate. Representative Butler also introduced the Advancing Care for Exceptional Kids Act, also known as the ACE Kids Act. The ACE Kids Act became law in 2019 and will help improve the coordination of and access to high-quality care to ensure optimal outcomes for children with complex medical conditions on Medicaid, enabling access to expert care and potentially life-saving therapies that is of critical importance to our rare disease community. That's why tonight we're proud to honor Representative Butler with the Congressional Leadership Abby Award.
Hi there. Thank you so much for honoring me with the 2020 Rare Voice Congressional Leadership Award. It is truly an honor to be recognized as a champion for those of us who are fighting rare diseases and helping to ensure you receive access to high quality medical care. Now, it's probably no surprise to any of you, but rare diseases aren't actually all that rare. In fact, it's estimated that roughly 30 million Americans are diagnosed with a type of rare disease, which is why it's so critically important that we work to discover treatments and invest in our healthcare systems. Now, I've had my own personal experience in this space when I was told that my first pregnancy had a 0% chance of survival after birth due to bilateral renal agenesis. Well, I forged on with that pregnancy, and a couple of years of dialysis and a kidney transplant later, my 7-year-old Abigail has told me more than once she's going to be president of the United States someday, and I totally believe her. I want you to know that I understand what it's like to have to fight all the odds, all the statistics, providers, health insurance, and your worst fears on behalf of yourself or someone that you love. I understand what it's like to have to blaze your own trail when it comes to finding treatments. Which is why, as a Congresswoman, I have worked to advance solutions like the Newborn Screening Saves Lives Reauthorization Act to help eliminate preventable newborn deaths and severe disability through increased use of comprehensive newborn screening tests. And I've also worked to champion the ACE Kids Act, which helps improve the coordination and access to high-quality child health care for children with complex medical conditions who are on Medicaid. And in my role as a member of the Appropriations Committee, I've committed to ensuring we're increasing funding for researching rare diseases that will spur additional investments and discover new treatments. Now, I'm going to continue to fight for these solutions that will help improve health outcomes for all families, moms, kids, everyone across this country. And receiving this honor has really inspired me to continue to keep up that fight. Once again, I want to thank you for this prestigious honor. Take care.
All right, we've reached the end of our show, so that means it's a time to announce the winner of the Cozy Winter Prize Package. Alyssa, will you do the honors?
Absolutely, Ryan. The winner of the Cozy Winter Prize Package is Alexis Abney. Congratulations, Alexis.
Thank you for joining us and for being a voice for rare disease. We're looking forward to seeing you at Rare Across America and Rare Disease Week.
Until then, congratulations to all of our nominees and winners. And remember, every voice matters. Good night.